Watching, we grab you with outdoor excitement. I'm Craig O'Neill and Angie Thompson. And Angie, today, no exception. The real guy's going to Quebec.
Hey, before we get into that, though, let me ask you this. The last time you were fishing with Jose, what was the maximum number of casts you made to catch a fish? Say one fish.
One fish?
Yeah.
I would say maybe 6 or 7.
6 or 7. Okay. The fish that the real guys are going for today, the Atlantic salmon, commonly known as the fish of 1,000 casts. Does that tell you anything?
That means it's difficult to catch.
It's difficult to catch, but I think Ken and Tommy will be maybe up for the challenge.
1,001.
Yeah.
You know, I said this show's going to grab you. It's going to grab you because you're going to watch, see how many casts they're going to make. You're going to be watching to see how many casts they make now.
Let's count them.
All right, as we go to the real guys.
Tommy and I left Houston, Texas, flew from Cleveland to Montreal, and spent the night in a real cheap hotel next to the airport.
I get along real good with the French, because all I do is just smile and just kind of tip my hat.
We had a great trip on the plane today with the amateur baseball champions of Toronto. Tommy Nelms stood up on the plane and hollered out, "Has anyone on this plane ever heard of the real guys?" And there was a deafening silence.
Hey guys, how many of you guys have ever heard of the real guys? When you go to Canada or Alaska or anywhere up north, it's tough getting there. And we don't mind traveling because we know once we get there, we'll have 3 or 4 days to fish. And when you fish for Atlantic salmon, you got to go ahead and gut it up and get your game face on, because it's hard fishing.
Bonaventure.
I tell you what,
I'll tell you one
thing, son. This looks awfully nice. I'm not sure if we deserve this.
Well, we probably don't deserve any of the places we go.
Oh, God, look at this.
The man that started all this stuff is Glenn Legrand. He sounds like a
Glenn Legrand.
Bill Taylor suggested we go to the Camp Bonaventure in Quebec. I didn't know where it was. I didn't know anything about it. And I looked on the map, and it was on the Gaspé Peninsula. And here we are.
Oh, it feels good. Is this the man?
This could be the man.
Is this Legrand?
How you doing, guys?
Tommy Nelms, Glenn.
Nice to meet you.
Good
Welcome
to see
Camp
you.
Bonaventure.
Ken Ford, how's it going?
It's going
Glenn,
great.
Glad to
It's
see
going
you.
great.
Glenn, these facilities aren't quite up to our standard now. We want to, have a little
We're
bit.
normally used to just a screen port.
That's right.
We started building Camp Bonaventure in 1993, and we completed in 1995. Since then, it's done really, really well. We've had many people from all over North America, Europe, Canada, and it's a great, great fishing lodge.
What in the world?
I don't know if we'll see them from here with the glare, but there'll be fish. There'll be some down in the rocks here, probably quite a few grills at the bottom.
Okay. My thoughts were kind of like Ken's, the anticipation of catching an Atlantic salmon, which I have never hooked or fought or caught yet, is tremendous. I've read about them, but really this kind of fishing is I think, the ultimate as far as trying to go for a species that is really pretty hard to catch.
You want your fly to free float, not to skitter at all, because for some particular reason, this river, very, very rarely they'll take a skittering fly. They'll come up for that free float. If you happen to see the fish coming for your fly, and it's coming right to the end of your swing, and you think it's going to drift a bit, and just kind of extend your arm, try to keep that fly floating free. That hopefully won't happen, but you'll get some lookers. This water's so clear that you'll see a lot of times the fish come up right underneath your fly. And for a lot of first-time trout fishermen, it's an emotional moment. They pull too quickly. Your best fly is the one you use the most?
Yeah.
And this one we sure caught a lot of fish on.
Yeah, I see that big hog.
There you go. Yeah, that big hog over there, he'll run, he's 25 pounds easy.
Are you going to move up some?
Yeah, I'm going to bring right up here. There's a little hole right here. The big green rocks, the only ones you got to be careful of. Not that they're slippery, just that they're flat.
Be careful of them, you say?
Yeah, if any rocks are going to be slippery a bit, these ones might.
Yeah, so it's better to step on the small rock.
Yeah, well, this water temperature in this river is running around, what, 55 degrees? We don't get any problem with algae.
The Real Guys are brought to you by Toyota Trucks. Unbreakable every day. By Lowe's Home Improvement Warehouse, because Lowe's knows. By Savan, soft, comfortable pants made to look good no matter what you're doing. And by Tylenol. Take comfort in our strength.
You're hung on the bottom, Flakes.
Oh man, Glenn!
You're hung on the bottom. Don't worry about it.
He got a dead drift, Glenn!
That's great.
Dead drift!
We okay with the fly?
Yeah,
man.
watch you see that fish go in the water.
Flake boy!
All
You know
right,
what? I might go.
Hooper.
I've got a camera in my pocket. I might go run down there. Yeah. Let me give you my rod.
Yeah. Ah! A special Glenn fly. Special Glenn fly. Yeah.
Oh my God. That fish is in a 20-pounder right now.
Yeah. Got a good fish.
Keep it up. That's fine. That's a nice one, a fresh one too. See how bright he is?
Yes, he was very bright.
Come down a bit. We'll try to get
Yeah.
a little bit soft.
You know, Ken told me this morning after breakfast, he said, Flakes, I hope you catch the first fish. And he was the toothsayer because I caught the first fish.
The toothsayer or the soothsayer?
Oh, excuse me, the soothsayer. I'm sorry, the soothsayer. Golly, did you see that thing, Oot? Did you see that thing? Oh, man.
You can back up a bit. We'll
Yeah,
try to get him
yeah.
under the current.
Yeah.
Tire him a little faster.
Yeah. In fact, I had probably cast in that same stretch of water, maybe a 20-yard area, probably about 50 or 60 times. But that thing jumped higher than I did in junior high school. Yeah. Oh, golly, look at that.
Nice fish.
That's a good fish. Yeah. Yep.
Right off the nut rock.
Yeah. Hoot bird. I tell you what, this is worth the trip. So there he goes. I can't stop him. I think. Yeah.
My heart started kind of beating a little bit, and
You came running back real fast.
I came running back fast. I went and grabbed my good camera. I got two cameras, and I grabbed my good camera. And I felt so good for Tomasino that he had done that.
Let him go.
That's an 8-pound test, right?
8 pounds.
8 pound test. This is a big fish, Hoot.
Well, I saw it. I almost hurt him.
This is what, 20-pound fish, you think? I got a nibble, Hoot.
Yeah, you get a little nibble.
I got a nibble.
How could you tell that bobber went under?
The bobber went under.
With the catch and release, since we're not using the net, net'll hurt the fish. So if I can touch the leader, fire out the net, I could have scooped.
Yeah.
If I touch the leader,
Well, there's the leader right there.
Glenn?
it was probably an 18, average probably 18 pounds. I played it for probably 15 or 20 minutes.
This is so fine. This is so fine. There he's coming again, Glenn. Oh, no.
He's going again.
I think that guy must have had a third cup of coffee this morning. Yeah. How's that look, Glenn? He's right there by you. Got him. Got him. Get him. Get him. All right, my man. All right. Look at there. Look at there. Give me real quick. Yeah. Oh, You got him?
Oh, the sun's got to get. Yeah. The sun needs to be getting
Yeah, real quick. Real quick. Get it all focused on what's more when you're ready.
I'm all focused.
You ready?
Yeah. Okay, let me get another. Okay. Let me get another quick shot.
Ready?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. Oh, man. That was fine.
Oh,
That was fine.
Flakes, I'm so glad for you,
Oh.
man. That was.
My first Atlantic salmon. Whoa! Isn't that neat?
That was sweet.
Shake my hand. Way to go, man. That was great. That was great. We kept working that one area and just kept working like you said. You just got to keep working that same area.
Oh, we got him.
Oh yeah! Whoa, son!
Good man.
Oh man, that was a crazy deal.
On a dry fly.
On the old dry fly. I switched back to that little dry fly, the bomber.
Yeah,
And
you
Glenn,
like it.
Glenn said, you may catch one on your worst cast. Well, I made about 50% good cast and about 50% bad cast, and I kept casting and casting. And I'd been standing in that one area for probably 30 minutes,
Yeah, I saw
moving
you.
back and forth and back and forth.
Glenn, that thing kind of knocked the hoop backwards a little bit.
He did knock me back. I was getting
You know,
kind
he's kind of skinny anyway, but that
getting a
thing
little
kind
bit
of
weak.
Big French to him.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
I was getting a
That's
little bit
good.
weak.
It's okay. Persistence pays off.
You know, that was one of the bad casts, I think.
Yeah. A bad cast. Oh, you got a right hand reel on that one.
Well, after talking to
I just can't get used to that right hand reel. I gotta have
I
that left
can't
hand.
either, really, but
Enjoy the tug, Hoot. Enjoy the tug.
He's not big, but he's feisty. Okay.
I know nobody in my office is watching this, but I think I feel better than you do right now. Okay, you drop it down. Okay. Well, one more time, Tommy. Get one more shot. He's not that big.
Catch and release is very important in saving and preserving wild salmon stocks. The catch and release attitude and program is very much like having your cake and eating it too as an angler. You can have the fun of fishing for them and also the satisfaction of knowing that the fish that you caught is also going to spawn.
Right before lunch.
The Atlantic Salmon Federation has done a terrific job and opened our eyes quite a bit on the plight of the Atlantic salmon, and we're back again this year just to try to open some eyes and ears.
The Atlantic Salmon Federation is an international conservation organization.
We're devoted to saving Atlantic salmon from the rivers to the ocean.
We're busy getting the message out that there is a very serious problem with wild stocks of Atlantic salmon, and therefore a serious problem with our river freshwater ecosystems. Perhaps even more problematically, we seem to have a very serious problem in the marine environment about which we should all be concerned.
One of our principal focuses in the ocean is eliminating the remaining large-scale commercial fisheries for Atlantic salmon. It's not a biologically defensible fishery, and we have lobbied very hard to eliminate those fisheries.
ASF's message is definitely changing attitudes. There is an outreach program through education with young school children to bring habitat improvement to local rivers, and also bringing the study of salmon to the classroom.
The Federation is continuing to work in the fields of recognition and mitigation of some of the other problems. Acid rain is to some extent being addressed. We'd like to see that improved, that performance improved in that area. Aquaculture, that is farmed salmon in the marine environment, is spreading at a very rapid pace. It's a very fast growing industry, and there are some implications for stocks of wild fish, and we'd like to see some government policy put into place to see safeguards.
Through the increased support of all parties involved, hopefully ASF can continue to strengthen and build our research, education, conservation programs.
The Real Guys have been brought to you by Lowe's Home Improvement Warehouse, because Lowe's knows. By Toyota Trucks, unbreakable every day. And by CompSys, we put information technology to work.
Well, I tell you what, the Camp Bonaventure and the Bonaventure River, the food here has been fantastic at the camp. The cooks are great. The accommodations are wonderful. The scenery is beautiful. It's far enough away from civilization to have a feel for the woods and the outdoors. It's one of the finest camps that Ken and I have ever been to. And we want to come back.
Fish it down to about 45 degrees downstream. So you're fishing sort of a piece of pie right across from you.
Piece of pie.
Piece of pie.
That's something. Wait. Turn sideways just for a second. Okay. Yeah. No, a little more. Get the profile from that. Would that relate to a piece of pie?
There's probably a piece of pie, a lot of pie.
There's probably a piece of pie in there. How's the arm hanging out there?
It's going. It's going. Tommy and I decided this fishing is so difficult. We need a little bit of help. And there's a church in town of Bonaventure that we've driven by probably 8 times. It's a beautiful, beautiful church built in maybe the 1700s. We went up to church. The minister came by. And I had my fly rod in my hand in the parking lot. And he looked at me and he smiled and he said, "My son, the fish are over there." And the bay is just right behind us. And I smiled at him and I said, "Well, the way we've been going, we might catch just as many inside the church." Came out to the river. We've been out here for several hours, and we've been using all sort of big dry flies, big bombers, and I have made hundreds of casts today, and we're just about through. The light's running out. We've got about 20 minutes left.
Oh, there you go. Oh, beautiful fish.
He has one.
Beauty. That's a beauty.
Oh, hallelujah.
Look at the line. Try and back up, and I'll try and fix your line.
Yeah.
Run at him a bit if you can.
All right, Hoot.
Okay, back up a bit.
My line's all screwed up.
Keep her tight. Keep her tight.
My line's all screwed
Keep going,
up.
Hoot.
We see what I can do?
Yeah.
I don't know what. So if he starts going, I'm gonna lose him. Oh, there you go. There you go.
Yeah, get on down there.
I can get him working here.
Yeah.
Something happened and the line spun off the reel, and I don't know if my drag spun backwards or something, but I got like an old-fashioned backlash on my fly reel, and my line was all tangled up. The fish was running.
We're on the reel.
Thanks. I think my drag is pretty good.
Yeah, adjust a bit. Keep your rod high. A little more drag than that, yeah.
Good bird.
Just watch out.
The rocks.
Ken, there's some big rocks. Yeah.
Got my line straightened back, got him on the reel, and I was so nervous at that time because I had not landed a salmon over 10 pounds, ever. And this was my first chance. I didn't want to lose him, so I really babied him. I played him pretty slow. He jumped several times, and I kept thinking he was a lot. I thought he was more like 20 pounds. Anyway, after a long struggle, we ran probably down this shore, 100 yards down the shore through the rocks. That old boy just don't want to give up, does he?
But through joint effort and a lot of reeling, a lot of undoing knots and so forth, we got it back together, and he put up a real good fight. In fact, he took us down to the beginning of the next pool in a set of rapids. And in a moment like that, that fish could just run and go crazy down through there. But he did a real good job, kept him in close, and we finally got him. I got him. Huh? We're gonna have to
The Bonaventure. If I could speak French, I would say something real witty. I can't speak French, and I can't think of anything too witty to say in English. One thing I would like to say is my partner Thomasino Nels has got me whipped on size. He has caught the biggest Atlantic salmon out of this pool, and I want to congratulate him on it. But I feel a little bit better that I finally got my first legitimate 10-pound plus salmon.
This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com, part of Go Network. Go.com.